Any decent press photographer must have what it takes to get the scoop. They probably need a pretty thick skin and very often the gift of the gab to get behind the closed doors of powerful institutions. On many occasions, Jimmy managed to gain incredibly privileged access to capture intimate, behind-the-scenes moments with Prime Ministers. Labour Prime Minister Clement Attlee at home in Stanmore, Liberal Prime Minister David Lloyd George in Churt, and Conservative Prime Minister Winston Churchill. It's amazing to me that Jimmy managed to achieve such relaxed cooperation with these past leaders. His is a pretty hard act to follow. But now it's my moment to see what I can pull out of the bag.
Prime Minister.
David, welcome. Really, great to have you here.
Very kind of you.
This is a fantastic picture. This is the Karsh picture of Churchill. So
Yes.
apparently it took ages trying to get the right shot, and Churchill was puffing this cigar all the way through. And the moment he got the shot was he pulled the cigar out of his mouth, and then Churchill made this rather angry face, and that was the bulldog picture that, you know, helped to inspire the nation. It's a great picture.
Great picture. Jimmy got this one. There was the victory picture.
That's fantastic. And actually, amazingly, that looks clear. That's not the brandy you'd expect. It's quite interesting.
That's true.
But it's a very good picture. And we'll wander up the stairs and I'll show you some of the others. This is a great place to come and see prime ministerial pictures. They don't put your picture up till you've gone. That's the only...
I mean, you've been photographed thousands of times. What's it like being photographed? Are you ever worried about what they might catch or not catch?
When you walk under the sign saying exit, or you know, that you have to... Sometimes there's suddenly a flurry of clicks, and you think, right, what was it behind me? And you have a look. But I had one great moment when I got one over the photographers, where I was in the underground in Delhi, and I was standing in front of a model of the drill that had helped to drill out the Delhi underground. And the sign in front of the drill said, "This is the International Boring Machine." But the trouble was that was on my side, not the press side. So I said, look, guys, this is what you're missing out on. I said, you're never going to get that picture. It was great. So these are the last...
look. Yes.
So this is the last few. Apparently Jim Callaghan did put up, when he left, a colour picture, because he wanted to start a new trend. He put up a colour picture, and then Margaret Thatcher, when she said, no, we're not having any of that. We're going to continue the conditions. So the colour picture went, and this one went up instead.
Perfect. And now, write to me.
I'm heading across London to Robin Bell's photographic lab, where everything's still done the traditional way. With all the nerves of an expectant parent, I'm anxious to see how the photographs I've taken these past couple of weeks have turned out.
I'm not sure what the chronology of it all is.
It doesn't matter. I don't think it
Go
matters.
through them and see what you think. Have a first impression.
Oh, they're all exposed, right?
They are. They're technically really, really good, honestly. The mining ones are fantastic. I've had a look through. They're really, really strong.
Oh, I love it. I really do like that one.
Is this a recreation of
That's
Suchet's?
a recreation of Jimmy's pic. Oh, my God. I really can't believe it. And
It's quite a moment, isn't it?
why should I find it so emotional?
Because you did it. You did it. You cracked it. Everything you set out to do. Have a look at some more. Have a look at some more.
That's super. I'm sure this is beginner's luck. I'm sure of it. I think Jimmy was on my shoulder. I think he did these for me. I don't think it's anything to do with me.
Back at the Sunday Times magazine, John Jones casts an experienced editor's eye over my photographs.
Lots of space up here.
Yes, that's your caption.
Okay. There's a cover lines and all that kind of stuff going on. Yeah. Okay. Not sure it works lying down like that.
That was shot in 1931. This is the modern equivalent, but the past is still there.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I think these then and now are always a nice idea, especially with the connection that you have. I like that.
Thank you.
That's really nice. Like that.
Would you use any?
I would use that.
Would you?
I think if we were doing an interview with him, and I think it's an accomplished portrait of him.
That the Sunday Times might even publish one of my photographs isn't something I'd ever imagined before now. I'm sure that while Jimmy would keep me in my place, he too would be secretly chuffed for his grandson. I think that by re-examining Jimmy's work and taking his camera out of its case these past couple of weeks, I've somehow learnt an enormous amount from him again. I've always loved his images, of course I have, I'm biased. But I'm really keen to know how the experts view him today. Armed with a folio of Jimmy's photographs, I'm on my way to the Michael Hoppen Gallery in Chelsea to meet 4 people who are top players in the world of photography. Curators Sue Bucklow and Colin Ford, former Sunday Times art director Michael Rand, and gallery owner Michael Hoppen.
There's a very, very tender eye, isn't there?
Well, I think this contrast between the miners, and look how young one of them is, blackness of their faces. I mean, there's a picture by Bill Brandt,
yes,
great 20th century name, who's very, very, very similar to this. But because he had this sort of arty reputation, we know the Brandt and we don't know the Suchet. It's just as good, isn't it? It's just as good.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
All the elements of the picture are exactly in the right place.
If I was Jimmy and coming to your paper, and I said, I think I've got a front page, and I showed you this.
Golly, I'd forgotten that was his photograph.
Yes.
That's interesting, that photograph. If it was 1937, I'd say thanks very much. Who's that bird with Prince of Wales?
But that's the genuine paparazzi scoop of the day.
But did that not make his name?
It would today.
It would today,
Would
yes,
today.
absolutely.
Well, we're in the days of celeb now, and I think if I'd have taken that picture, I would probably be known quicker as a photographer than I was as an actor at a younger age. Because I think I would have been credited with that today. I think it's a whole different...
Well, you'd earn a lot more.
I'd earn a lot more, wouldn't I? Yes. Thank you very much, Michael. Yes,
No, but I mean, when Fergie was caught
No, that's
on
right.
that photographer got $1 million for that picture. I'm not saying he hadn't been up the tree for a day, but that's serious money for that. I think is my favourite picture.
Do you know, I've not seen that one. That is
That is a contemporary
absolutely
work of art.
brilliant.
It's absolutely amazing.
Do you know, if we were selecting things for the gallery,
Yeah,
we'd
that's the picture
definitely
you'd go
go for that
Absolutely.
one.
Is it
wouldn't
really?
we? Yeah. Well, it makes me think of Brass Eye and people like that when I look at that. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm both terrified and excited by what I've seen, because the fact is, of course, we have a pantheon of the great 20th century photographers. The Cartier-Bressons, the Kertés, the Kappas, the people like that. And whereas I'm not sure that I'm ready to put Suchet in that pantheon yet, but suddenly looking at these, I think, wow, I've spent most of my career curating shows of great photographic artists. Why haven't I looked at this man before?
To hear him appraised by you all as a photographer, what you have found by looking at his work is the man I knew. And that's incredibly moving for me. I was just thinking now, if he was there, listening to this, I think Jimmy will have gone, wow, he was a big man, he would have gone, wow, thank you very much. I really didn't expect that. And if he met me at the bottom of the stairs, he'd probably go, yes! 2 weeks after we'd completed our main filming, Jimmy's work was up on the walls of a London gallery, a place it had not been seen for more than 30 years. Forgotten images that had languished in archives and many that had never before seen the light of day had been printed up and were now on show for the first time. The range and quality of Jimmy's work was a genuine discovery, not only for me it seems, but for many photographic enthusiasts and experts too. Jimmy's photography was alive again.